Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, chuckfinleLP Play Sonic CD Part 1, the third Sonic game in the series, and the first Sonic game for the Sega CD. Alright, now this game is different from Sonic 2. It doesn't follow the same storyline as the Sonics 1, 2, and 3. And the gameplay styles, everything will look like it was made, and there is a lot of speculation that this game was made before Sonic 2, actually. Alright, so let's see here. Alright, so you can see a new menu. You got start game, time attack, trophies if you're playing the Xbox Live or the PS3 version. PS3s have trophies, Xbox 360 has achievements, leaderboards, help and options, and the soundtrack and extras. Alright, we're gonna look at the soundtrack real quick. Japanese music or the US music. I'll be doing the Japanese music just because I like it better. I know most people do Japanese music, but like I said, I like it better. Anyway, we'll take a look at the help and options real quickly. It shows how to play. This is probably a okay. Yeah. This just shows who's in the game and the controls for everything. And I'll show off the spin dash and the super peel out move later, and this just shows you the essential items in the game, the warps signposts, and special stages, what shows us in the special stages. And we'll need to get the time stones, which are the chaos emeralds for this game. Alright, that's what I'm going to look at for now. We'll start a new game. You can either play Sonic or Tails. In the original, you can only play Sonic, but in different ports, you could play as Tails. And this intro will play through. I'll let it play through. And in the US version, there's the music is going to be different for both US and Japanese versions. But this song was supposed to have lyrics in the background, but for every port in this game, they couldn't get the I'm not sure if it was, I believe it was the copyright to actually have the lyrics in it, so they just had to use the background music. But the US version song called Sonic Boom, they had the rights to use the lyrics, so if you listen to it in the US version, you'll hear the words to that song. But it just kind of shows you what's going on through the game. Sonic's running through up to the little planet, which is where this game is based around. The little planet comes to this certain lake every so many years, and Robotnik's trying to get the time stones. And you can see he's chained Little Planet to this rock. Well, not that rock, but that group of rocks. If you notice it very quickly, you can see Robotnik's face in the rock. Right there, you can see it right by Sonic's right foot. But yeah, that's where everything's based around, is the Little Planet, and where all of the zones and everything is. So welcome to Palm Tree Panic Zone, the first zone in the game. And following what most Sonic games do, the iconic green hillish looking zones. And you can see different things. You know, we do have the enemies. You can see they kind of do follow from Sonic 1, the butterflies. Really haven't seen those before, but come on, there we go. But those mosquitoes kind of, I guess none of the enemies you really see will be the same from any Sonic game previously. Alright, so there's an interesting thing about the enemies. If you look here, this is called the Metal Sonic Projector. If you destroy these, you won't have a good future. We'll need to find the roboticizer, I believe, is what it's called, through this act and Act 2. Every act will have except for the third act, will have a metal sonic projector and a roboticizer. If you destroy the roboticizer, no matter which time zone you enter, you'll have a good future for that time zone. Let's see, where am I at? Nope, don't want to go to future just yet. If you see those mosquitoes, will get caught in the ground. And let me think, what am I... Alright, so what you need to do to start up the signposts is, as soon as you gotta keep moving until you see it start flashing, and as soon as it starts flashing, you just have to keep running without being stopped, and then it will let you go to the future or the past, whichever sign you flipped. But just like in Sonic 1, we do need 50 rings to be able to go to the there it is, to the special stage. So that's what we're gonna try to do. If you do hit that's what a roboticizer looks like, and if you hear that tone, that means you'll have a good future. There will be no more enemies in any of the zones, and you'll just see flowers. And this is the first Sonic game not to have little animals encased in the robots. To be the fuel, it's just flowers for whatever fuel that they give you. But if you do destroy the metal sonic projector, those little animals, or your Sonic's little animal friends, will follow you around. I haven't heard or seen any advantage to having them follow you around. It's just, if you like that, you know, that's what it does. But for an achievement in a trophy and achievement for the Xbox and PS3 respectively, you need to destroy all of these metal sonic projectors and the what else was it? The keep wanting to say time stones. The roboticizers. I won't be doing that. I'm gonna try to get all of the time stones to get the good future. Unlike most Sonic games, you have two ways to get the good ending, which is destroy the roboticizer in every act of every zone, or just going for all the time stones, and that's what I'll be doing. And as you saw, we did get a time stone. It's pretty interesting the way you do it. Here, you go through let me think. That style is all you gotta do is just move around with the controls, or with the directional buttons, and you gotta hit the UFOs. If you do run out, you do have a time limit, and if you touch the water, you notice the water on the outside. If you touch the water, you will lose time for every footstep. You'll lose so much time, so you want to be careful about doing that. You will have a chance to gain 30 seconds to your time if you hit a certain let me think. If you hit a certain UFO, once you run out of time, it'll pop up, and then if you hit it, you'll be able to get it. If you see there's a lot of rings in these rocks, there will be a lot of rings and different elements in the background that will change depending on the time zone that you're in. If you saw, I was in the past in the first act, and in the second act, I'm going to try to stay in the present, because in the third act, you'll see the bad future for that zone. No matter if you get all of the time zone, if you get a good future in both Act 1 and 2, you'll always be transported to the bad future for that zone. So that's what I'm gonna try to do consistently throughout all of these levels. And there's an interesting thing Also with the different time zones, if you see the enemies will be at their best. If they're in the past, they'll move a little bit slower, and you can see different signs of decay with the enemies. In the present and in the future, there will be a lot of enemies that are just stuck or stopped, and you'll see a lot of wear on the enemies, whether it be from rust, or it really just depends with the background. Like at the water level, you'll see more of the rust and paint faded and with the enemies. But that's an interesting, I don't know what to call it. It's not really like a gimmick, but just an interesting thing for the enemies and how they react with the different time zones. Oh, yeah, there we go. If you noticed, I did lose time. These do get, you don't move any faster as you move along. But you do want to be careful about hitting the sides. You can see there, they will make you bounce around. And in the blue UFOs only have, I want to say, the speed shoes in them, and the purple ones will have rings, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if losing any rings will mess you up time-wise. I don't believe it does. And these UFOs will try to run away from you. That does make it a little bit tougher to... Okay, there we go. You see, this UFO right there was the ones that will gain us time. Just like in Sonic 1, you want to try to go after all of the time stones quickly in the first several zones, because those are going to be the easiest. And thankfully we got that done. They will look the same. The time stones will look the same, and their sprites will be the same. The colors and sprites will be the same as the Chaos Emeralds in Sonic 1, but there are 7 of them compared to the 6. And I believe with every time you get 50,000 points, you will get a continue, or a life, I believe is what it is. As you can see, unlike the previous Sonic titles, we do have like a little area that we can run around in, try to collect some rings and shields and whatnot for the boss. Really can't see much decay on that robot, and he's not moving too much slower. I'm not really sure if it's exclusive to the Acts 1 and 2, about the decay and everything for the robots, but I do know it's there. Alright, so Robotnik will look a little bit different, and you can see it looks a lot different. Right, so this is an interesting boss fight. You've got to make sure, you got to wait for him to get closer to you. Come on. There we go. Just, once he backs up, he's very short boss. Doesn't take as many hits like, say, in Sonic 1. It depends on the boss. Most of them will take anywhere from 5 to 7 hits, but some of them, like this boss, will take less. But thank you for watching. The challenge of the video is how long did I spend in the past in the Act 1? Thank you for watching. Until next time. Come on, Pon.